Welcome. Thai Sites, Shadow Games Report. Gonna be doing part 8 of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot this morning, or afternoon. I slept in, so I didn't even know what time it was. How's it going, everybody? Happy Sunday. Get this off the screen. I don't know how much left of this song is left, but I figured I would just let it play out. Good way to relax. Raining right now here. I don't know what it's like everywhere else in the world, but been on and off raining. Very relaxing. I love the rain. Gotta appreciate some piano too. Okay, what's going on this morning? Get rid of that. Just in case it's slowing things down. Okay, it looks like the internet's starting to fix itself, maybe. I say that, and then it won't fix itself. Tate protests French embassy over Olympic mockery of Jesus. Let's see if there's more details on that. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are protesting outside the French embassy in Bucharest, Romania, against the mockery of Jesus during the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The protest has drawn attention from various social media users and news outlets. Tate, who identifies as Muslim, has expressed his concern over the lack of Christian response to the incident. The Romanian police have threatened... Can you guys hear that rain right now? It looks like it's showing up on the mic a little bit, but it's raining pretty good here. Tate, who identifies as Muslim, has expressed his concern... Really? He's Muslim? I didn't know that. Tate, who identifies as Muslim... No. I mean, never mind, I'm not going to give my opinion. Has expressed his concern over the lack of Christian response to the incident. The Romanian police have threatened to arrest Tate for unlawfully assembly, which could result in a minimum of 3 months in prison. Tate is currently on bail and has been vocal about his stance on the issue, emphasizing his commitment to defending the religious beliefs. So we got Muslims standing up for Christianity. I guess one thing a lot of people don't know is that Jesus is a part of the Islam faith to some degree. I don't think he's obviously not the main guy. Muhammad tends to be like the main key figure of Islam. But people know this, some people don't. Let me put it that way. Yeah, Jesus, I believe, is a prophet in Islam. They do read the Bible, from what I have gathered. They read the Torah, which is the Old Testament in Christianity, and they read the New Testament, and they read the Quran. So, guess it makes going to Islam easy for some, but I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not for violent religions, if that makes any sense. If a religion tells you to be violent, I think that goes against the religion itself. And these religions have done a lot to protect themselves over the centuries. And I'm not hating on religion, by the way. It's more or less like there's they make up certain things in different aspects of their religion just to protect it, just so you can't question it. And I think that's wrong. I think that goes against science. I guess if you were to say if science was a dogma, that goes against the dogma of science. You have to be able to question it. You know, if you can't question things, then you can't get answers. You just basically have to agree with whatever they told you. Andrew and Tristan Tate are protesting outside a French embassy after Christians were mocked during the opening ceremony at the Paris Olympics. Why is he in Romania? Seems like a random place. Is that where the Olympics is at? I thought it was Paris.
Go to jail. Jail for Jesus. Jail for Jesus. Amen.
Jail for Jesus. Okay. Booty judge on Biden versus Trump crime rates. Pete Buttigieg, appearing on Fox News, claimed that the crime rates decreased under President Joe Biden and increased during the Trump administration. Buttigieg questioned why Americans would want to return to higher crime levels experienced during Trump's tenure. However, several users disputed. I can't talk this morning. Buttigieg's claims suggesting that crime rates might not be accurately reported, or that crime is actually increasing but not being reported due to changes in reporting requirements. He's a lot tanner than a few months ago. He's looking kind of orange, if you ask me.
Let's get real. Border crossings are down in the wake of President Biden's executive actions that he took after Congress failed to act.
So he could have taken action.
He wanted Congress to resolve that because that would have been more durable. But when Trump came in, talked Republicans out of their own bipartisan project because he didn't want the issue to get better. Remember, the worse things are at the border, the better things get for Donald Trump. So he has a vested interest in it remaining chaotic down there. I think this also helps to explain why he didn't exactly conclusively solve it when it was his turn. But I saw something else really important happening at the Republican National Convention on the border and the talk about immigration, which we all recognize is a problem, which is they tried to paint this narrative that if you live somewhere far from the border and immigration hasn't affected you personally, you need to think that immigration is a driver of crime. That was the real message. Immigration leads to crime.
Well, there are blue state governors and mayors who say every state is a border state now. That's Democrats.
Yeah. Conclusively solve it when it was his turn. But I saw something else really important happening at the Republican National Convention on the border and the talk about immigration, which we all recognize is a problem, which is they tried to paint this narrative that if you live somewhere far from the border and immigration hasn't affected you personally, you need to think that immigration is a driver of crime. That was the real message. Immigration leads to crime.
Well, there are blue state governors and mayors who say every state is a border state now. That's Democrats.
Yeah, and now they're saying, but the false message of the RNC was that this is leading to an increase in crime.
Well,
and I think it's really important that we talk about
have
crime.
Been very high profile about people. If they had not been in this country
cases,
illegally,
this is my
people
point,
would still
right?
be alive.
Trying to make people think that crime is up when crime is down under Joe Biden and crime was up under Donald Trump. Now, I don't know how often that gets reported on this network, so if you're watching this at home, do yourself a favor and look up the data.
Well, we invite that.
Great. So if you look this up at home, you will know that crime went down under Biden and crime went up under Trump, and I think the violent crime for sure. So I think the really important thing to ask is, why would America want to go back to the higher crime that we experienced under Donald Trump?
Because it was more fun. I liked it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, what about your border, your current border issue, crisis, whatever you want to call it? I mean, what have you done about it? Like, you're literally gonna, like, go back 4 years and blame the other guy. Say he didn't do anything about it when he had the lowest numbers. It's like, obviously he did do something about it. He even created a wall, which it's incomplete, but, I mean, it won't take long to finish. Honestly, I think that, yeah, that is kind of a weird one. Why didn't he finish the wall? Um, I'm sure there's probably more to that, but Google suppresses Trump assassination attempt search. Let's see what that is. Let's not solve that at the corner of my eye. There is a claim circulating on social media that Google is suppressing search results related to the alleged assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Users have reported that Google's autocomplete feature does not suggest relevant results for searches related to the incident. Unlike other search engines, this has led to accusations of election interference and attempts to manipulate public perception. The FBI has confirmed that Trump was struck during the incident, although the details of the event remain a subject of discussion. So the FBI did confirm that? So they finally saw his ear? Yeah, confirms Trump was shot with bullet. Assassination attempt of Truman. That's close. Wow. So, I wonder how far you can type into that before it actually... Let's see real quick. Oh, it does, man. It all disappears. As soon as you type Trump, everything disappears. It's trying so hard for Truman. Wow. Okay. Well, you saw it here yourself. Alright. Well, that didn't take long. Google really wants us to forget what we all saw with our own eyes ago. You know what? I'll make my own little screenshot. Maybe not. I should have just went ahead and did it earlier. Oh well. Repost. Moving up. Not gonna get stuck on that. Let's go see what I posted since last night. I don't think I posted too much. Yeah, I did post the Nashville Bitcoin conference. Most of my episode last night was about that though, so I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. Go watch that video. Covered that. JD Vance telling immigrants, or illegal immigrants, start packing your bags right now because Donald Trump is coming back into office. Ukraine says it's ready for peace negotiations with Russia on fair terms, whatever that means. I never allotted that last night. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this meme was funny. Men can't talk about abortion. Batman slaps him. Last week you said men can get pregnant. Anyways. 18 minutes. VP shortlist. Shapiro, Shapiro, Shapiro. Is he related to the other Shapiros? To Ben Shapiro? If that ends up being a yes, then I'm just going to be like, oh my god. In the lead up to the 2024 election, discussions on social media have centered around the potential vice presidential picks of the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. There is significant support for Pete Buttigieg, it as a strong contender for the role, with many users expressing their desire to see him as part of the ticket. Other names mentioned include Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The discussions also highlight Harris's appeal to various demographics, with a focus on her potential to make history as the first female president. Additionally, there is notable emphasis on the importance of unity and support for the chosen candidate in the fight against the opposition. Once elected, I'll be vegetarian. The prosecutor versus the felon. Gross. Mayra, photographer. Sorry, I shouldn't be showing you. You came up in my feed, I blame X. Anyways, let's go on. Jill Biden praises controversial Olympic ceremony. What? Oh, Jill Biden. For some reason I thought it was Jill Stein. That was my first anyways. The 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony featuring a controversial performance that parodied Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper with drag queens drew criticism for mocking a religious event. First Lady Jill Biden praised the ceremony, which was intended to celebrate community tolerance, according to the Paris 2024 organizers. I mean, okay, like, one big saying, I guess, here in Tennessee growing up is, we don't tolerate bullshit. I mean, there's some things you don't want to tolerate. Like, do we want to tolerate flooding? Do we want to tolerate, um, you know, people breaking into homes, breaking into just anything? Do we want to tolerate certain things? Like, think about that. Like, this whole exaggerated tolerance where we accept everything. I mean, that's why we end up getting Satanism, because we start tolerating things that are, I guess, more okay on the fringe of things, because, like, we do have horror movies, and if you do think about it, like, I guess Satanism, like, at least historically, I'm not going to talk about this new version of Satanism that they try to make it more, I guess, moral and ethical. This weird atheist Satanism. It's basically just narcissism. It's self-love. And I am kind of relating it to the this weird trans stuff. I mean, that was something that Christians associated with Satan a long time ago, was, I guess, the idea of having, like, a male and a woman combination. I mean, sometimes there was angels like that, but it was more of, like, I guess, demonic or otherworldly, unhuman.
dampen our spirits. And Casey, honestly, every step of the way I was thinking.
What'd she say?
It was spectacular. The rain did not dampen our spirits. And Casey, honestly, every step of the way I was thinking to myself, oh my God, how are we going to top this? How are we going to top this? So, okay, so Paris has the, Eiffel Tower, but we have Hollywood and right, and the magic of Hollywood that makes all dreams come true. So I think we're going to be okay.
I don't know. I mean, Trump calls Hillary beautiful and great person and all this other stuff. So, I don't know. She could just be like saying like, yeah, it's great, whatever, because she's a politician. I mean, not really a politician, but kinda at the same time. I mean, she's doing public speaking. Netanyahu postpones transfer of Gazan children to UAE. Netanyahu returns to Israel for security assessment. Following a rocket attack by Hezbollah that killed several children in Majda, Shams, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu postponed the scheduled departure of approximately 150 sick and wounded children from Gaza to the United Arab Emirates for medical treatment. The decision was reportedly made in response to the attack and due to concerns about public criticism. This move has sparked criticism and debate on social media, with some users condemning the decision. Yeah. Of course we're going to condemn it. It has to do with children. It's like anything bad with children, we're going to condemn it. Okay? Makes sense? Got it? That means no pedophilia, no anything bad. I'll just sum it up with that. Leave the kids alone. I'll karate chop you through my computer. Whoosh, whoosh. Alright, let's get into this game, y'all. Trump's debate reluctance with Harris. Let's see what this is for sure. That's going to be fun. I think that's going to be when she drops out. What do y'all think? She'll be so humiliated. I'm sure Trump will probably come up with some hard-hitting